Let's face it, even the most brilliant ideas fall flat if nobody believes in them. But how do we make our ideas credible? Well, we could borrow some authority or expert, someone with framed credentials, and hope their reputation does the heavy lifting. After all, if Oprah likes it, it's got to be good, right? But what happens when you don't have an expert or a celebrity to back it up? That's when we need internal credibility, the ability to make our ideas as believable on their own. So let's dive into 4 powerful strategies for building credibility that sticks. First, start with the easy one. That's details. A person's knowledge of details often serves as a proxy for their expertise. Suddenly, they're the most credible person in the room. Details just don't make the person credible, they make the idea credible as well. Imagine someone telling you popcorn is unhealthy. Okay. Now imagine a medium bag of movie theater popcorn has 37 grams of saturated fat. That's more than an entire day's worth of unhealthy eating. Yikes. That lands a little differently, doesn't it? Details bring ideas to life. They turn vague claims into tangible truths. So if you want your message to stick, don't skip on the details. Paint the full picture. Next, statistics. They're like kale. You know, that thing that people hate to eat, but it's really good for them? The problem is that stats on their own rarely mean much. Numbers don't stick. Relationships do. Next, let's move to the Sinatra test. You know that song, if I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. The idea is simple. One example can be so powerful and so definitive that it establishes credibility all on its own. Take Fort Knox. If your security company guards Fort Knox, you don't have to list every strip mall and bank you've ever worked security for. Fort Knox says it all. Similarly, if you've catered a White House dinner, people will assume you can handle their wedding. The Sinatra test works because it's specific and undeniable. So if you have one shiny example that screams, I know what I'm doing, then lead with it. And finally, let's talk about testable credentials. Claims so concrete that your audience can verify them for themselves. Remember Wendy's Where's the Beef campaign? They didn't just say their burgers were bigger, they implicitly challenged customers to check for themselves. They said, go to McDonald's, look at their burgers, then look at ours. The difference will be obvious. Testable credentials are powerful because they invite your audience to play the role of investigator. It's like saying, don't take my word for it, see for yourself. This transparency builds trust because people feel empowered to confirm your claim.